morning, everyone. How is everyone today? Hang on just a second.
Brilliant.
I am not going to sit behind this table because that seems awkward. I'm going to sit in front. Alrighty, now I can see you better. Hi, guys.
Hi.
All I see are lights in my eyes. Okay. Or is that the sun? So, good morning. My name is Crispin Freeman. But you probably knew that. If you didn't, this flight is leaving for Crispin Freeman. If you're looking for Miley Flanagan, that happens at another time. We look a little different. Both wonderful, just look a little different. From what I understand, there is a microphone there with a very wonderful staff member there. He's hard to miss. If you have any questions, please feel free to line up slowly, walk, do not run, to the airplane exits. You can line up there to ask any questions. And I'd like to try to make sure I get through as many of people's questions as possible. So we can just, wow, here we go. And then there's that. Okay. I think I really need sunglasses. Okay.
I want to go, but I don't know.
We'll take the first question.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Hattie, and one of my favorite roles that you do is Kyon from the Melancholy Prettiest Suzumiya. And one question that I really want to know: did you actually have to do the Endless 8? Like, did you have to record every single episode?
Yes. Yes, for those of you who may not be familiar, I play the main character Kyon in the show called The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, and in the second season, they have this sort of time loop episode where we get caught in a time loop and we keep repeating the same last 2 weeks of summer vacation, and we can't get out. In the show, we've repeated it 15,000 times or something, but the way they represent it in the anime is they have us do it 8 times in a row. It's called the Endless 8. So there are 8 episodes of the second season that are the exact same plot. It's the same 2 weeks over and over and over again. I thought we would just record it once and then it would be different, but it turns out that's not the way they made it. I thought too maybe they were doing it to save money, like we'll just animate one episode and play it 8 times. No, that's not what they did. Every episode of the Endless 8 is radically different animation. We're all wearing different costumes, there's different camera angles, certain lines are featured more than others. Each one is radically different from the next one. So there was no way to just record it once and be done because we had to change. And sometimes we'd have a line that my character would say, you'd see the back of his head, and we'd write it one way. And then the next episode you'd see his face and his lip flap would be moving a different way. And we'd go, oh God, now we have to go back to the earlier episode and re-record that line because it doesn't fit the lip flap from this episode. That it was a logistical nightmare. And it was frankly far more difficult for the director because he had all 8 scripts open at the same time and was trying to coordinate back and forth between them to make sure that it would all work. For the actor's point of view, we just had to perform it 8 times, which is sort of like doing theater. I used to do 8 performances a week in theater, so that wasn't that big of a deal. But it was interesting that we had to do it 8 times.
I'm so sorry. Thank you.
It's all right. That's my job.
Hello, I'm Robin.
Hi, Robin.
I have a question. Yeah. Would you prefer Supernatural, Doctor Who, or Sherlock?
Do I prefer Supernatural, what was the second one?
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, or Sherlock. Well, seeing as I've only seen one of those 3, I have not seen Supernatural, nor have I seen Sherlock. I have heard Sherlock is very good. And I do plan on watching it at some point. But seeing as how I only know I've only had personal experience watching one of those three, then definitely, I am from Gallifrey, so. I'm not really that much of a fan about that many things, except Doctor Who. Doctor Who sort of hits me in my sweet spot. I don't know if it's just because when I was young, it aired on television a lot. I grew up in Chicago when I was younger, and we didn't have cable. Like, you couldn't get cable in the city limits of Chicago. There was some mafia thing going on. And you could get it in the suburbs, but you couldn't get it in the city of Chicago. So all through high school, I didn't have cable. I mean, all my friends were watching MTV, and I was like, what's that? So most of the stations I had to watch were either the main networks or PBS. And PBS in Chicago was awesome, and they played nothing but the BBC. And so Sunday nights, it would be me and Tom Baker, taking on the Daleks. And so Doctor Who was always sort of near and dear to my heart when I was younger. Doctor.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Sadie.
Hi.
I'm a fan of the Slayers, so I always wondered, what did you like most about playing Zelgadiss?
I think what I like most about playing Zelgadiss and the Slayers is I got to be the grumpy one. It's always fun to be the straight man around a bunch of goofy people, right? Lena's sort of jumping around and casting spells and being, brash and forceful, and Gary's sort of the big dumb wonk doing his thing, and Amelia's so romantic and all about justice, and Zel's like, I hate you all. I mean, it's fantastic, and so it was always great to always be able to undercut all the humor of everyone was doing, because I was always the straight man, so that was always a lot of fun.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, my name is Amanda. I was wondering if you've ever lost your voice due to screaming for voice acting.
Have I ever lost my voice due to screaming and voice acting? Yeah, I mean, I'm a classically trained opera singer, and so I know my instrument pretty well, and I like to pride myself on the fact that I can do crazy things with my voice, and I know what my limits are. I'll push, and then I'll go, okay, that's as far as I can go, I've got to go home and rest. But there was a video game last year, I believe. It was one of those screamers, grenade, that kind of thing, just over and over. And they tried to be nice and schedule only 2-hour sessions and then let us rest. And I thought I was doing well, and I got through 2 of those sessions, and the third one killed me. After the third one, it literally took my voice probably a week to start to come back to normal and 2 weeks to be fully healed. It has happened, but I learned my lesson. That's my limit. I'm not going there again.
Sorry, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. I always believed that Kyon's main strength in his character is his monologues. Oh, do you agree?
I'm not sure I would say a monologue defines someone's character.
Well, not
monologue is how
define.
you talk to someone, or talk to yourself.
Right.
That's not, monologue is not a character trait, unless you're a villain and you spend all your time monologuing. Then I guess it's a character trait. But do you mean that you enjoy Kyon's monologues because it lets you have insight into his character?
Yes.
Okay.
But it's always been a dream of mine. I've wrote this small monologue, so if you don't mind, if I could have a favor for you. I don't know how good it is, but I was hoping you would read it real quick.
Okay, sure. As long as it's not like the length of War and Peace or something. Kyon will now read you Anna Karenina. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. The only problem is this sort of has an agenda. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say no, only because of the content. No, it's just unfortunately you're making some judgments about people, and I'm not cool with that, and Kyon wouldn't be cool with that either. I don't think. So, thank you. I should have probably prefaced that if it was something that was cool, then I could be down with it, but yeah. I can recite a line from the show. Do you have a favorite line from the show? It's just Kyon's, unfortunately that first couple sentences of yours are a little judgmental, and Kyon's not a judgmental guy, so. Next question.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm a big fan of Young Justice. I'm
Cool.
really looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to the video game coming out at the beginning of next month, actually. But what was it like having to play 3 different characters and talking to yourself, to say nothing of poor Nolan North?
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I work on, or worked, because the show unfortunately has been canceled. But I worked on a show called Young Justice, and I played the sidekick to Green Arrow, who starts out with the name Speedy.
He's not
and
a sidekick.
Then he's I was speaking as Crispin, not as Roy Harper, but as Roy would say, don't even call us sidekicks, not anymore. So Speedy eventually goes sort of rogue and becomes Red Arrow. In the first episode, there was this character called Guardian, who they wanted me to play as well. And so, you know, I assume they wanted a little younger voice for Speedy Red Arrow and a little older voice for Guardian. And I said, well, yeah, but he can sound the same. Why? Well, because he's a clone. Really? Yeah, okay. And then later on in the show, it's revealed that there's a second Roy Harper, which obviously makes him a clone. And so I said, so let me get this straight. I'm playing 3 different characters, and you don't want me to change my voice? Like, no, that's fine. Really? Everyone's gonna think I'm a bad voice actor, and I can't, and I have no range.
What was
like,
it?
No, you're clones.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
What was it like working with Greg Weisman? That must be amazing.
Yeah, Greg and I are good friends. We met back in 2001, actually, at a Gargoyles convention. We met, I was living in New York at the time, he was in LA, and he really liked my work, and he said, I'm working on this animated show for Disney, it's based on the Atlantis animated movie, it's called Team Atlantis. I'd love to use you on the show, if you come out to LA, you know, maybe we can work together. I said, great, I moved out to LA and Disney canceled the show. It's all right, I worked on another show called Hellsing or something. So it all worked out in the end. But it took 6 years before Greg and I could work on something, and it was Spectacular Spider-Man, which I saw on like Josh Keaton's tweet that it's coming back. They're bringing back Spectacular Spider-Man, airing somewhere. I don't know, but I'm sure it's there somewhere.
That'd be great.
So we worked on Spider-Man, and I played Electro, and then he was producing on Young Justice. But yeah, Greg's a great guy, and what's great about Greg is that he cares about the storytelling of superhero characters, and he's knowledgeable. To have both those in the same person is really satisfying. Because every time we came to do an episode of Young Justice, there would be like these radical characters I'd never heard of. And I'd be like, oh, they totally made this up. This isn't, and then I'd look and go, no, it's canon, it's in the comic books, it's right there. He actually did the research and found the real characters and brought them back, and I'm like, wow, that's impressive. So it's always wonderful to work with someone who has that much authority in their storytelling.
Thank you.
You're welcome.